Simon sets the pace. You follow right along.
An extension telephone will be of great convenience and comfort for you.
Imagine a world without smartphones, streaming services, or social media. Just pure, unfiltered fun. Growing up in the 1970s meant riding bikes until sunset, Saturday morning cartoons, and the magic of vinyl records. It was a time of bell-bottoms, rotary phones, and the unforgettable jingles of classic commercials. If you lived it, you'll never forget it. So join us today as we explore 50 things only those who grew up in the 1970s remember. Roller disco parties were the ultimate 1970s craze, blending the flashy energy of a discotheque with the thrill of roller skating. Neon lights, mirror balls, and funky beats from artists like the Bee Gees set the scene as skaters showed off their best moves. Whether gliding effortlessly or stumbling through the rink, everyone embraced the disco fever, making it an unforgettable part of 70s childhood and teen culture. Gliding across the rink under neon lights was thrilling, but what if the fun could be brought home with just a joystick and a screen?
Like the most popular home video game system ever.
The system you want is the Atari 2600.
That's so fast. I want a system that can play hundreds of games.
Then what you want is the Atari 2600.
The Atari 2600 revolutionized entertainment in the 1970s, bringing arcade-style fun into living rooms. Games like Pong, Space Invaders, and Adventure captured kids and adults alike with pixelated graphics and joystick controls. The birth of a gaming culture sparked endless battles between siblings and friends, making Atari the ultimate status symbol of the era.
Several good places in your home where an extension telephone will be of great convenience and comfort for you and your family.
Rotary phones were a test of endurance. Waiting for the dial to return after each number felt like forever. Long conversations meant no one else could use the phone, and if the cord stretched across the room, you knew someone was deep in gossip. If you misdialed, start over. It was a far cry from today's instant dialing, but it built patience. Every kid in the 1970s dreamed of being Steve Austin, the bionic man with super strength and enhanced vision. The slow motion action scenes with that signature sound effect made playground reenactments legendary. Whether jumping off swings or running across the yard at an exaggerated slow-mo, every child believed they too could be rebuilt, better, stronger, and faster.
Pace. You follow right along. Light the lights that Simon lights, or he'll tell you that you're wrong.
Simon was the ultimate test of memory and reflexes, with its flashing red, blue, green, and yellow buttons playing an increasing sequence of tones. One mistake and the game ended, leaving players desperate for another try. Whether competing with friends or challenging yourself, Simon was a must-have at parties, mesmerizing kids with its hypnotic light and sound patterns.
Right. The pet rock, introduced in 1975, was billed as the 70s alternative to man's best friend.
Only in the 1970s could a rock become a pet. Packaged in a cardboard box with breathing holes and a care manual, pet rocks were the easiest pets ever. No feeding, no walking, no mess. Despite their absurdity, they became a nationwide sensation, proving that brilliant marketing and a little humor could turn an ordinary stone into a must-have collectible.
Our mood ring reveals your subconscious feelings in a myriad of breathtaking color, from black to brown, yellow, green, to the most desired shade of violet blue.
Mood rings were the ultimate 1970s fashion statement, claiming to reveal emotions through color-changing thermochromic liquid crystals. Blue meant happy, black meant stressed, and green meant calm. Well, at least we believed. Whether accurate or not, mood rings became a fun, mystical way to express feelings and sparked endless discussions about their mysterious powers. If a ring could change colors based on your feelings, could tiny dried eggs really come to life in water?
After many years, the original sea monkeys are back. Bring them to life. All you need is water.
Sea monkeys were the ultimate 1970s science experiment disguised as pets. Sold in comic book ads with promises of tiny smiling creatures, they were actually brine shrimp that hatched in water. Kids eagerly watched their new aquatic friends grow. even if they didn't quite resemble the illustrated humanoid figures. Despite the exaggeration, sea monkeys fascinated a generation.
Presenting the incredible comfort beanbag chair. You can eat on it, sleep on it, talk on it, read on it.
Beanbag chairs were the epitome of 1970s chill. These shapeless, slouchy seats were filled with tiny foam beads, molded perfectly to whoever plopped down. Whether lounging in front of the television, reading a comic book, or just goofing off, beanbags were a must-have for any cool kid's bedroom or basement hangout. They were fun, stylish, and oh so groovy.
When we feel turned on to each other,
we turn on our lava light.
Nothing screamed the 1970s like a lava lamp. With its hypnotic blobs of melted wax drifting through colorful liquid, it added a trippy, futuristic vibe to any room. Whether you were a teen zoning out to rock music or just loved the soft ambient glow, lava lamps were the ultimate funky accessory, both soothing and mind-bending at the same time. The floating blobs of wax looked cool, but what was the ultimate way to listen to groovy tunes?
I want an 8-track car stereo tape player. Regularly $59.95. Now just $29.95.
Before cassettes and compact discs, there were 8-track tapes. Huge, clunky cartridges that let you listen to music in cars and homes. The format had one major flaw. You couldn't rewind. You had to listen to songs in a fixed sequence. Still, it was a game changer for music lovers, allowing endless playtime of rock classics like Led Zeppelin and Fleetwood Mac.
Most exciting game you will ever see on your TV set. Telstar by Coleco with 3 different games.
Pong was where home gaming truly began. A simple black and white game simulating table tennis, it involved 2 paddles bouncing a dot back and forth. Yet for kids in the 1970s, it was pure magic. Pong transformed televisions into interactive entertainment, paving the way for the video game revolution. It may seem basic now, but it was groundbreaking then.
We've been robbed!
Stop! Stop, evildoers!
Introducing super stretching superhero Stretch Armstrong. Yes, Stretch Armstrong!
Stretch Armstrong was no ordinary toy. He could be pulled, twisted, and stretched up to 4 feet, only to snap back into shape. Filled with a mysterious gel-like substance, he became a playground legend as kids tested his limits. Whether wrestling with friends or staging superhero battles, Stretch Armstrong proved that durability and fun could go hand in hand.
Big wheels are a-rolling with big fat wheels in back.
Big wheels were the ultimate ride for kids in the 1970s. With a huge front wheel, low riding design, and plastic tires perfect for power slides, every child felt like a racing champion. Whether zooming down sidewalks or skidding into dramatic stops, big wheels provided endless outdoor thrills, making them a must-have for the coolest kids on the block.
Garbage Patch Kids. Silly, look at my ViewMaster viewer. Fred, Garbage Patch Kids in 3D.
Before virtual reality and smartphones, the ViewMaster was a red binocular-style toy that led kids to explore the world through 3D image reels. Whether flipping through scenes of Disneyland, nature wonders, or TV favorites, each click revealed a new vibrant picture. It was like having a tiny personal theater, sparking endless fascination and imagination with every reel rotation. Exploring new scenes was fascinating, but what if you could whip up tiny cakes using just a light bulb?
Easy bake, fast as you can. Mix 'em up, pour 'em in the pan.
The Easy Bake Oven was every aspiring baker's dream. It used a simple light bulb to cook miniature cakes, brownies, and cookies. Pouring batter into tiny pans, waiting anxiously as the treats baked, and proudly sharing the results made it feel like real baking magic. For many 1970s kids, it was their first taste of independence in the kitchen and pure delicious fun.
All you do is trace, color with special pencils, and cut out.
Then I bake in the oven for 3 magic minutes.
Look at that, it's shrinking.
Shrinky Dinks turned simple coloring fun into a magical transformation. Kids would draw or color on thin plastic sheets, cut out their designs, and watch in amazement as they shriveled into hard mini versions of themselves in the oven. Whether making keychains, charms, or decorations, Shrinky Dinks were a creative, hands-on way to bring artwork to life.
Bright Light bright.
Whoa, a giraffe!
Cool designs, or you can create your own.
Light bright, light bright.
Light Bright was a mesmerizing blend of creativity and technology. Kids would poke colorful, translucent pegs into a black grid, forming glowing images of flowers, animals, or anything their imagination dreamed up. The thrill of turning on the light and seeing the picture illuminate was pure magic, making Light Bright a must-have for every young artist of the 1970s. Clackers were a 1970s craze. 2 acrylic balls attached to a string that kids swung up and down, making a loud clack sound. The challenge was to keep them going faster without losing control. Unfortunately, their hard plastic design led to injuries, and they were eventually banned. Still, for a brief moment, they were the ultimate test of skill and coordination.
They're slugging it out. A left to the jaw, and...
Oh, my block is knocked off.
But you can press it right back on.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots brought arcade-style boxing into kids' bedrooms. 2 plastic robots, the Red Rocker and the Blue Bomber, duked it out in a tiny ring controlled by players who furiously mashed buttons to land that winning uppercut. The thrill of seeing an opponent's head pop up in defeat made this game an unforgettable part of 1970s childhood battles.
McDonald's is that kind of place. It's such a happy place.
With their giant inflatable design and goofy cartoon faces, space hoppers turned ordinary backyards into bouncy playgrounds. Kids gripped the handle, bounced around wildly, and often wiped out in fits of laughter. Whether racing friends or just hopping aimlessly, these giant rubber balls provided hours of energetic, wobbly fun, proving that the simplest toys were often the most entertaining. Steven Spielberg's Jaws wasn't just a blockbuster, it was a cultural phenomenon. The terrifying tale of a great white shark attacking beachgoers had people second-guessing every dip of the ocean. The suspenseful music alone was enough to send chills down spines. After 1975, swimming in the deep blue sea was never the same, thanks to this game-changing thriller. A man-eating shark was terrifying. But what about a battle between Jedi and Sith in a galaxy far, far away?
Fight for the galaxy with the incredible weapons of the Jedi Knights, the Luke Skywalker lightsaber and the new Darth Vader lightsaber, both with blazing extendable light blades and 3 real movie sounds.
When Star Wars hit theaters in 1977, it changed movies forever, and its action figures became an instant obsession. Every kid wanted to recreate epic battles at home, from Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader to tiny Jawas and stormtroopers. Whether staging fights or collecting them all, these small plastic figures turned bedrooms into mini galaxies filled with adventure and imagination.
Unravel the mysteries of gravity. But could he have unraveled the mysteries of Rubik's Cube?
Invented in 1974, the Rubik's Cube became a global obsession by the late 1970s. This colorful, twisting puzzle seemed simple. Just align the colors. But solving it drove people to frustration. Some mastered it through strategy, while others peeled off stickers to cheat. Whether it was a brain teaser or a desk ornament, the Rubik's Cube defined 1970s challenge and fun.
Colonel, or come up to Venus and have your very own Venusian condominium.
Mork and Mindy brought intergalactic comedy to TV, starring Robin Williams as Mork, an alien from Ork, and Pam Dauber as Mindy, his human roommate. Williams' wild improvisations and nanu nanu catchphrase made Mork unforgettable. His rainbow suspenders became iconic, and the show launched Williams into superstardom, making it one of the most beloved sitcoms of the late 1970s.
Sure, what's up?
Well, we wanted to talk to you about Alice.
Alice? What about her?
The Brady Bunch followed the misadventures of a picture-perfect blended family. 6 kids, 2 parents, and their housekeeper, Alice. Every episode delivered wholesome fun, whether it was Marcia's broken nose, Greg's Johnny Bravo phase, or the unforgettable "oh my nose" moment. With its catchy theme song and groovy 70s vibes, it became a defining show of the decade. The Brady kids had their share of drama, But who were the crime-fighting ladies taking television by storm?
Once upon a time, there were 3 little girls who went to the police academy.
Charlie's Angels made crime-fighting glamorous, with 3 stylish, intelligent women, played by Farrah Fawcett, Kate Jackson, and Jacqueline Smith, working as private investigators for the unseen Charlie. With high-speed chases, daring disguises, and plenty of action, the show captivated audiences. Farrah Fawcett's feathered hair became a trend, and the Angels proved that women could be both tough and fashionable crime solvers.
It's The Muppet Show with tonight's guest star, Mr. Joel Grey.
The Muppet Show brought Jim Henson's beloved puppets to primetime, mixing comedy, music, and celebrity guests. Kermit the Frog hosted, while Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, and Gonzo stole the show with their antics. The grumpy hecklers Statler and Waldorf and the chaotic backstage scenes made it a family favorite. It was wacky, heartfelt, and truly unlike anything else on TV.
You sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
Schoolhouse Rock made learning fun, with catchy songs about grammar, math, history, and science. Kids memorized Conjunction Junction, learned how a bill becomes a law with I'm Just a Bill, and even grasped multiplication through sing-alongs. Airing between Saturday morning cartoons, this animated series turned education into entertainment, leaving a lasting impact on generations of kids in the 1970s. Before Sesame Street had the market on educational TV, the Electric Company used skits, songs, and animations to teach reading skills. With a cast that included Morgan Freeman and Rita Moreno, kids learned phonics through fun sketches like Silent E and The Adventures of Letterman. It was fast-paced and engaging and made literacy exciting for young viewers in the 1970s.
It floats back to you.
The Love Boat took viewers on a romantic, comedic adventure aboard the Pacific Princess every week. With Captain Steubing at the helm and a lovable crew, passengers found love, drama, and unexpected hijinks on the high seas. Featuring celebrity guest stars in every episode, this feel-good show blended escapism with humor, making it a beloved staple of 1970s television.
Let him do that to me.
No. No, I cannot allow that.
Welcome to Fantasy Island. With those famous words, Mr. Rourke, Ricardo Montalban, and his assistant Tattoo granted guests their wildest dreams, often with unexpected twists. Whether it was romance, revenge, or adventure, each episode taught a lesson about desire and consequences. Airing on Saturday nights, Fantasy Island was a thrilling mix of mystery, fantasy, and drama that captivated audiences.
Happy days, Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race to you.
Happy Days brought the 1950s to life, following Richie Cunningham and his friends as they navigated teen life in Milwaukee. The real star, though, was Arthur the Fonz Fonzarelli. His leather jacket, thumbs up, and signature, "Ay," made him a cultural icon. From malt shops to sock hops, this feel-good sitcom defined 1970s television and left fans longing for simpler times.
6, 7, 8, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hassenbeff Incorporated.
A Happy Days spin-off, Laverne and Shirley followed 2 blue-collar roommates working at a Milwaukee brewery. Laverne, Penny Marshall, was tough and street-smart, while Shirley, Cindy Williams, was sweet and optimistic. Their hilarious misadventures, from dating disasters to workplace antics, made this buddy comedy a smash hit. The catchy opening song and their signature chant, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, became pure 1970s magic. 2 best friends trying to make ends meet was fun, but what happened when a man moved in with 2 women?
I don't think it'll reach.
Three's Company pushed boundaries with its hilarious premise. Jack Tripper, John Ritter, pretended to be gay so he could live with 2 female roommates, Janet and Chrissy. Misunderstandings, slapstick humor, and nosy landlords made every episode a comedic delight. With its risque yet lighthearted take on co-ed living, the show became one of the most iconic sitcoms of the 1970s.
Hi, all set. Great, but we got a slight problem. Oh, what's the matter? Well, the fourth girl who was supposed to play with us today canceled out, and it's a little hard to play doubles with 3 people.
The Mary Tyler Moore Show redefined television by focusing on Mary Richards, a career-driven, independent woman working in a Minneapolis newsroom. With a stellar cast, including Ed Asner and Betty White, it tackled workplace sexism, relationships, and female empowerment with humor and heart. Mary's famous hat toss in the opening credits symbolized women's liberation in the 1970s.
You still ain't feeling good, are you?
I feel awful.
Oh, well, come on out in the kitchen. I'll fix you some breakfast. You can keep me company and we'll...
Archie Bunker, the bigoted but lovable working-class patriarch, made All in the Family one of the most talked-about shows of the 1970s. No topic was off-limits. Racism, feminism, war, and politics were all tackled with unfiltered humor. The show's ability to blend comedy with serious discussions changed television forever, making it one of the most influential sitcoms in history.
That's why I came home early to tell you I won't be coming home for lunch. What? I got a business lunch to go to. A business?
Spinning off from All in the Family, the Jeffersons followed George and Louise Jefferson as they moved on up from Queens to a luxury Manhattan apartment. It was groundbreaking as one of the first sitcoms to showcase a successful black family. George's loudmouth attitude, Florence the sassy maid, and the show's catchy theme song made it a beloved 70s classic.
Good evening. Is Mrs. Evans in?
Yeah? Mr. Harris!
Set in a Chicago housing project, Good Times followed the Evans family as they faced financial struggles with humor and resilience. Florida and James Evans kept the family grounded, while their son JJ stole the show with his catchphrase, "Dynamite." Unlike many sitcoms, Good Times addressed real issues like poverty, racism, and systemic injustice, making it a powerful and memorable series.
There'll be much more than the sightseeing tour.
Yeah, I like that roller derby, too.
Yeah, and you know, that Rocket Klazuski was something else, wasn't it?
Red Fox and Devon Wilson made Sanford and Son a comedy goldmine. Fred Sanford, the grumpy junk dealer, constantly schemed and clashed with his long-suffering son Lamont. With Fred's fake heart attacks, "I'm coming, Elizabeth," and sharp one-liners, the show brought laughter while highlighting the everyday struggles of a working-class black family in Los Angeles. It remains a classic sitcom.
Oh, come on, you can't kid us. I mean, you leave me no choice but to prove it. Hey, Carter, up your nose with rubber hose.
Welcome Back, Kotter followed a wisecracking teacher, Gabe Kotter, who returned to his Brooklyn alma mater to teach a group of misfit students, the Sweat Hogs. Among them was Vinnie Barbarino, played by a young John Travolta. His charm and catchphrases like "up your nose with a rubber hose" made him a breakout star. The show was a mix of humor, heart, and nostalgia. Kotter students were a handful, but what about a family that formed their own rock band?
See? Don't put that drumstick up your nose.
Why not?
You don't know where it's been. Gloria's father phoned to say that she has the mumps. Can't come.
Oh, no!
This fictional yet relatable musical family, led by single mom Shirley Partridge, traveled the country in a psychedelic bus, performing catchy pop tunes. With David Cassidy as teen heartthrob Keith Partridge, hits like "I Think I Love You" topped the charts. The Partridge family's blend of humor, music, and family dynamics captured the wholesome, fun-loving spirit of the 1970s.
I'll tell you something, Lyle's a real whiz in physics. Boy, he can remember problems word for word he hasn't seen in years.
What's your secret, Lyle?
Set during the Great Depression and World War II, the Waltons followed a tight-knit family living in Virginia's Blue Ridge Mountains. With its heartfelt storytelling and memorable "Good night, John Boy" closing lines, it showcased the struggles and joys of a simpler time. The show's warmth, strong values, and multi-generational themes made it a beloved staple of 1970s television.
And as for your teeth and eating candy, you wait and see. Nellie and Willie are going to have bad ones in a few years. You fetch some water for the dishes.
Yes, Pa.
Based on the classic books, Little House on the Prairie brought frontier life to TV with heartwarming yet dramatic tales of the Ingalls family. Michael Landon as Pa and Melissa Gilbert as Laura led a cast that depicted love, hardship, and resilience in 19th century America. The show's mix of wholesome family values and emotional storytelling made it a lasting favorite.
Cleaners, get after him! I ain't gonna eat it! Nobody's got a gun around it! Freeze! All right, let's get together to get after him!
Bo and Luke Duke, along with their orange '69 Dodge Charger, the General Lee, spent every episode outwitting the corrupt Boss Hogg and Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane in this action-packed comedy. With daring car chases, Southern charm, and Daisy Duke's iconic shorts, The Dukes of Hazzard was pure 70s entertainment, packed with humor and high-speed hijinks in Hazard County.
They steal money, and I have to fill out forms. What a country this is.
Linda Carter became an instant icon as Wonder Woman, the Amazonian princess turned superhero. With her golden lasso, bulletproof bracelets, and patriotic costume, she fought villains and inspired young girls everywhere. Originally set in World War II before shifting to the modern era, the show combined action, adventure, and campy fun, solidifying Wonder Woman's place in pop culture history.
Elizabeth, no! Elizabeth? No, please! No! No! Elizabeth! No! No!
Before computer-generated imagery, or CGI, The Incredible Hulk brought Dr. David Banner's tragic transformation to life with Bill Bixby as the tortured scientist and Lou Ferrigno as his massive green alter ego. Each episode followed Banner's search for a cure while evading a relentless reporter. The show's emotional depth, thrilling action, and Banner's famous line, "You wouldn't like me when I'm angry," made it unforgettable. Dr. Banner struggled with his transformation, but what about a group of humans struggling to survive against robotic enemies in space?
Uh-oh. What, pray tell, was that?
There go the bunkers.
Find out, before I have you scavenged for spare parts.
Inspired by Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica followed a fleet of human survivors fleeing the robotic Cylons in search of the lost planet Earth. With stunning special effects, a grand space opera storyline, and characters like Commander Adama and the roguish Starbuck, it became a cult classic. Though short-lived, its legacy continued in later reboots and remains a sci-fi favorite.
Captain Buck Rogers, you are now in the 25th century.
I think I will that right now. Are you familiar with Rock?
A 70s revamp of the classic comic strip, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, followed Captain Buck Rogers, who awoke 500 years in the future after being frozen in space. With futuristic battles, disco-inspired fashion, and a wisecracking robot named Tweaky, the show blended action, humor, and campy sci-fi fun, making it a beloved part of 70s television.
I am a highly trained OSI agent, and I have very special capabilities.
Jamie Summers, played by Lindsay Wagner, became the Bionic Woman after a near-fatal accident led to cybernetic enhancements, giving her superhuman strength, speed, and hearing. A mix of espionage, adventure, and drama, the show carved its own identity separate from the $6 Million Man. Wagner's portrayal made Jamie an empowering female hero and an icon of 70s television.